Check this sign out. Waterfowl hunting prohibited from highway. Haha. Alrighty, y'all, this is Fuzzy Biker. Welcome to Ride of the Week, and look at this. DeSoto National Wildlife Refuge. This is west central Iowa, right along the Missouri River. Okay. Let's see what we can learn. Home of the Blue Goose. Entrance fee. How much is that? $3. We can do that. These gates close at half an hour before, half an hour after sunrise, sunset. The motorcycle we're on today is my Royal Enfield Himalayan. It's a 411cc single cylinder hot rod. Loads of fun. ADV bike. Okay, let's see what we got here. Go to the far one. Pay here. I just need one. There it is. Let's see what it says. Daily permit. Number and a number. Okay, we can do that. I was ready for them, so I've got $3 right here. 1, 2, 3. That's the cheapest deal in wildlife. Okay, we did it. We are paid up. Okay, we're going to do a little, I'm not going to go into the museum, but we'll go over and take a look at it. There's a bunch of trails around here, and I don't know how many miles of trails, but there is quite a bit of it. This is a national park, but check that museum out. Been in there quite a bit. There's an observation area on the back side of that, so you can watch the geese and the birds and all that stuff from on the other side. They've got a giant bird feeding center, and you can just sit there and watch that from behind glass. The artifacts from the steamboat that was recovered are all inside there. I don't know if they're all inside there, but there's a vast, you know, and it's a display that's continuously changing. They bring out certain things, put away certain things. Okay, let's go take a look around the lake. Alrighty, well, there's a lot to see out here. Over the years, I've seen all kinds of goodies out here. All kinds of owls and turkeys, and there's a bald eagle's nest out here somewhere. Of course, all kinds of geese, and if we're lucky, we'll see a whole bunch of these snow geese. I know down south there's a bunch of them. A friend of mine posted online, I think it was last night, somewhere in Missouri. So I don't know if they made it up this way or not yet. Something I did see out here years ago, and I'll try to post a picture of it, is a golden eagle, and that was really quite a treat. I'm glad I got pictures of it. Okay, here's the beginning of the oxbow here on the left. Part of it anyway. And there is some waterfowl down there on the ice. I've canoed all this before. Okay, there's quite a bit of stuff out that way. I don't know enough about wildlife to tell you what those all are, but they look like they're gray and brown. They look like there's some white ones back there too. Okay, here on the right is the Missouri River. Yeah, that is the Missouri. I have canoed this all the way from Sioux City to just south of here. It's an interesting canoe. There are mile markers on the river. Those of you that boat know that, but to somebody like me, that's something I had to learn. Really a neat spot, isn't it? Just a little farther down is a place called Wilson Island, a kind of a campground, and I've camped there a few times. Another interesting thing about this area is we will go from Iowa to Nebraska. Okay, entering Nebraska. So we've just left Iowa, we're in Nebraska now. I've had herds of turkeys, literally herds of turkeys, cross in front of me on the road here. I've also seen owls through here many times, even at this time of day. Okay, we're going to turn down here, Bertrand area excavation spot. Now you have to walk to that, so we aren't going to see that actual spot. It's actually over yonder, right over there. Okay, let's take a look at the sign here. During the mid-19th century, steamboats played a major role. March 1865, fully laden stern wheeler Bertrand left St. Louis under its command of James York. Cargo of blah blah blah. April 1st, 1865, the 161-foot vessel struck a snag. A snag is something in the water, like a log or something. No lives were lost. The Bertrand was one of more than 400 steam wrecks in the Missouri. Wow. Amazing. There's a foot trail there you can take to go see the site. The site is just a pond now. Down there are what looks like swans or snow geese or something like that. I am not going to park and get out and walk. I got the wrong boots on. Look at all that snow, y'all. We'll try to skip that, huh? Check it out. Snow City. Okay. Now farther down the road here to the left is another observation area about halfway up the Oxbow, I think it is. Beautiful day for a motorcycle ride. The weather is perfect. The sun has gone down, so that's kind of made it cool, but it was about 52 degrees when I left home. Home is about 72 miles away from here, from this exact spot. What have I got on today? For gear, I've got on a pair of boots. I've got wool socks that go to my knees. I think it's Ralu long underwear. I'll put that down below. Long underwear, tops and bottoms. I've got on my Cardung Law, Royal Enfield Cardung Law winter jacket, made specifically for motorcycle riding. The first time I've ever had a jacket made specifically for bike riding. After my bike wreck last year, I decided I needed something with armor, and this is full of armor. And this is a winter jacket, and it's actually a very warm winter jacket. And it's got venting and stuff like that. I can't wait actually to see how it performs when it gets warmer out. But once I got this jacket, I made a post about it, and it turns out about 7 of my friends have the same exact jacket, and they're all very happy with it. I got mine at Baxter Cycle. Bob Starr Wildlife Overlook. That's an oxbow there, part of the oxbow. Like I said, there. Okay, right there is the bald eagle's nest. It's been there for years. It's a great place. I'm going to keep moving today though. Okay, so something about adventure bikes. Let's talk about that a little bit. Adventure bikes, one of the master traits of an adventure bike is that you're supposed to be able to take it on pavement like this, and on gravel and dirt roads, out in the back country. So that would be a key trait of an adventure bike. And there's a lot of difference in that. There's a lot of adventure bikes that are specifically made for the highway but can do a little bit of gravel, and there's a lot of adventure bikes that are very good at dirt and gravel but are terrible on the interstate or on the highway. Some you can't even take on the interstate because they just won't go fast enough. Another dividing point would be so that would be capability. Another dividing point would be weight. There's heavy ones and light ones. Again, the heavier ones tend to be more aimed at interstate travel or higher speed travel and less to the back road. The lighter ones, of course, more of the trails and things like that. Another thing would be price. Again, the expensive ones have all the luxuries and bells and whistles and heated grips and seats and cruise control and things like that, where the lesser expensive ones are plainer. And that brings us to another kind of dividing area, and that's analog, old-fashioned versus sophisticated motorcycles. Now, sophisticated motorcycles is going to have a bunch of computer, it's going to have riding modes and all kinds of lean sensitive braking and things like that. And a more analog-ish, because I don't know if you can actually get a motorcycle that's pure analog anymore, but an analog-ish motorcycle, it's going to have a lot less of that. Let's see what we got down here. Oh, better view the oxbow here. Pay attention to the dirt here. Oh, we scared the birds. Can you all see that? Wow. Sorry guys, did not mean to bother. There's actually open water over yonder. So where does my motorcycle, this Himalayan, sit in? This Himalayan, I would say, is a lower cost motorcycle that is more analog than most motorcycles. Probably about as analog as you can get, analog-ish, because you know it does have computers. Like I said, you really can't get an analog motorcycle anymore. This bike will do interstate. I don't go more than 10 miles on interstate. If it's more than 10 miles, I'll find some other way. It will go 80, but I don't like to ride at 80. I try to keep it under 70, 75. And what's kind of crazy is I actually drive it faster on gravel than I do on pavement, which, well, that's my bad. Check this out. This is, like I said, this is part of that Oxbow Lake. Try to get an overview picture of this on here somewhere. So this bike costs less, more affordable. It's simpler. It's got a lot less power. It doesn't have the electronics that a more expensive, sophisticated motorcycle would have. However, it's also a lot more fun in a lot of ways. Because it's less expensive, I'm not so worried about damaging it. Because it's simpler, I can do my own maintenance on it. It's cheaper to maintain if you had to hire somebody. And if you took it into the shop, it costs less. Motorcycles like this, the more analog leaning ones, are they tend to have less fairings and covers and things like that to get in the way. So if you take it in to be serviced, I know there's motorcycles out there, especially the biggest ones, you have to pay a couple hours just to have them take off, you know, fairings and gas tanks and air boxes and things like that just to get to the engine. Now on the other side of that, maintenance intervals are very wide anymore on modern motorcycles, but still, a motorcycle like this, a valve adjustment is about every 6,000 miles, and all I have to really do is take the gas tank off, and then there's two covers, there's two ports that cover the actual valves. It's very easy to do. I can do an oil change and a valve adjustment in about 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Isn't this cool? Just love it. I love it. Another neat thing, like I said earlier, because this is a less expensive motorcycle, a lighter motorcycle, I can take it on these back roads like this, and I'm not quite as concerned about if I drop a $25,000 motorcycle, I'm going to be not feeling very good. If I drop this is a $5,000 motorcycle, and it'd be a little more palatable. How's that sound? Look at this muck. I really enjoy this bike. It's been a lot of fun, and I did try to buy some more expensive motorcycles at one time, but oh, we got some ice here yet. Well, chicken man, speaking of dropping motorcycles, right? Now this thing does pretty well, pretty darn good. Very happy with it. It's a very stable bike. It's got an excellent suspension, 58-inch wheelbase, I think. Weighs about 440 pounds with a full tank of fuel, at least in stock form. I've added a few things to it, so. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, we're back on the gravel again. Lakeview Drive. Anyway, back to the ADV thing. So there's a lot to be said for a simple motorcycle, especially if you're going to be taking it in the outback or in the you know, drags off the road. This motorcycle is 440 pounds, like I said, with a tank of gas, and has about 24 horsepower. And that's another interesting dividing point with people. A lot of people won't look at the motorcycle like this because they don't feel it has enough power, and that goes back to what are you going to use it for. If I was going to, you know, cross the continent on this bike, and I wanted to do a lot of interstate, or I wanted to do it at 75-80 miles an hour, I would definitely get a different bike. I do plan on crossing Nebraska on this bike, and I plan on doing it at 60 and 65 miles an hour, and it should do that just fine. I've got 16,400 and some miles on this bike, and it's never had any real trouble at all. It's been a dream. This has just been a fabulous ride. This is worth everything right here. This area right here has just been every mile I rode to get to this place is, well, that was a beautiful ride too. I really enjoyed that. So, so it's Christmas for motorcycle guys today, right? Let's go this way. I think we can get out of the park this way. I think this is the other end of the Oxbow, literally. On the right is the Missouri River again, right there. And on the left, that's the, I think that'd be the southern end of the Oxbow. The end closest to Omaha. Let's see what this sign says. Entering Iowa. Okay, well, we've been in Nebraska, now we're in Iowa again. Isn't that something? I've canoed this whole Oxbow. I think it's 8 miles total, round trip, so 4 miles. I think, I'd have to look that up. Oh, hey, Wilson's Island. Let's run in through there real quick. Like I said, I've camped in here several times. This is actually quite a nice campground. They've got a boat ramp and ranger's house, and you know, go take a look at see what we find. They've got modern camping, tent camping, all that neat stuff. Let's take a look at this sign. I'm sure there's not much camping right now. Oh, look at that, Missouri River boundary lines. There's a trail. Look at all that. Isn't that neat? Dogwood trail. Wow, that's pretty neat. Like I said, I've camped here a few times and I've really enjoyed it, so it's a pretty neat place. Let's see what we can find here. Boat ramp, everything's to the right. If I remember right, that kind of goes to like a dead end over that way, right up against the river, the Missouri River. I canoed, this is actually, I canoed all the way from Sioux City all the way down to Wilson's Island. A little over 100 miles. I did it over, I think, 4 or 5 days. I can't remember. And I need to continue that. The goal was to do the whole west edge of Iowa, the Missouri River along the west edge. Hey, there's the boat ramp. Not many people using it today. Wonder why. There's a gravel pit over yonder. I remember that, listening to that thing make noise. Let's take a look here at the shoreline. Look at that, chunks of ice, and wow, that's amazing. I love it. I love it. What a deal. What a deal. Wilson Island State Recreation Area. Tire tracks. Not my tire tracks, by golly. You know what, I'm going to get a picture. I'm amazed at how much open water there is. We were down here not too long ago, and the vast majority of the water had a lot of ice over it. Try to get a good shot of that ice in there. Wintertime motorcycle riding. Life is good. Life is good. Okay, y'all, I think what I'm going to do is get out of this park, and I've got some back roads I want to take home. Got about another 80 miles of riding yet to do today. If you all can get out and ride, get on your motorcycles and do so. Life is good. Wahoo!